The police are coming for you, Riley. I might have been a little bit of a hater. He looks geriatric. This vlog is gonna be such a mess. Hey y'all, welcome to a new reading vlog. So this reading vlog is going to be centered on Daisy Jones and the Six because the TV show is coming out in a few days. So I wanted to reread the book and I thought I might as well vlog it because very popular book. I'm very, very excited for the TV show. So I'm gonna, bring y'all around with me. What are you, ma'am? Excuse me. What in the world are you doing? This is her world and we're just living in it. So I don't know how far I'm in the book because I am listening to it on Audible and I don't know if there's a way to like see percentage or page number or anything on Audible, but I haven't figured it out. But I am at the part where, also this vlog is going to be full of spoilers, just so y'all are aware. I'm at the part where they're making Aurora right now. We're getting a look into Billy and Daisy being kind of a catalyst for him, and like, I don't know if catalyst is the right word, but like being a really, really bad influence for him. I'm already calling it now. I might have been a little bit of a hater when I first read this book. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm also going to give myself the benefit of the doubt in that when I did read this, this was the #1 freaking book on BookTube. It was hyped up everywhere. Everybody was rating it 5 stars. Everybody was saying that like it was like just the pinnacle of literature. And when I read it, it wasn't that for me. So I was just reading my original review and I was a little bit harsh in it, as I have been known to be, but I am just genuinely enjoying this book. It is just a really, really good book in that it's easily digestible. It's very interesting. I personally love 70s rock music and just 70s music in general. So just like the vibe of everything is everything to me. And I also did just binge the show Minx on HBO Max, which if you don't know is set in the 70s about this woman who makes the first erotica for women. And it was so funny. If you guys haven't watched it, it has Nick Miller in it. And it was just hilarious and I loved that show. So it was a great segue for me to reread this book. But anyways, I do still wish that there was a little bit more than just the drug use and the drug abuse and everything. Obviously, that's like a huge part of the book. So it's not that I don't want that, or it's not that I don't think that that is necessary and all of these discussions are necessary, because again, that's like a huge part of the story. I just kind of wish there was a little bit more, I don't know, like cultural references or like more of like the shows and the vibe. I don't know exactly what I'm missing. It's just like, it is just a lot of just them just doing a bunch of coke and stuff, which again, major part of the story, but I feel like we're missing just something else about the story. I don't know. But I love Graham. I love Karen. Karen, it was my favorite when I first read it, and she still is my favorite. And I am a Camilla stan, first and foremost. I love her. She can do no wrong by me. She has done nothing wrong, and she will do nothing wrong in my eyes. I am such a stan for her. I love her so much. She deserves the world, and she unfortunately does not get the treatment that she deserves. So far, nothing has happened. Billy is being a good husband, and we do know that he's a tortured soul, but I don't really like to make excuses for men, even damaged ones. Daisy, she's just a mess. She's just a mess. She's not pissing me off as much as she did in my first time reading this book. She's still very much entitled. I want to love her and I want to stan her because she does have the icon factor to her. Like, regardless, we all know that Daisy Jones is an icon, right? And I want to love her and I want to support her, but she's just a mess. She's a mess, which I guess makes her interesting So there's that. There are a lot of Daisy Jones stans out there, and I am not one of them. I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm a Daisy Jones auntie, at least not yet in this current predicament. When she starts going more hardcore for Billy and trying to wreck his marriage, that might change. As of right now, I just couldn't help her. That's for sure. I wouldn't want that responsibility put on me. I'm really enjoying it. I might even be enjoying it even more this second time around. In fact, I probably am, because again, like I said, I was being a little overly critical, I feel like, when I first read it, but who knows? Maybe it'll change. I do remember really liking the book in the beginning, and I think the ending and like the end parts deterred me a little bit. So maybe my opinions will change, but as of right now, I'm really, really enjoying it. Everybody's a mess, but like, I'm liking going through the mess from an outsider's perspective. I'm gonna keep listening, and I'll check back in once I have another thing to say. You guys know how vlogs work. Don't mind me, I'm getting ready for work right now. But it's really, really easy to hate Eddie. He is a very unlikable character, and just deeply unlikable. He really doesn't have anything going for him character-wise. And I do kind of feel bad because I do sympathize with him, especially when it comes to like Billy's monopoly over the band and how he clearly like tries to pretend, or he doesn't even really pretend, that the band is for everybody, but really it's just his decision or nothing. And if I was in Eddie's position, I would feel extremely frustrated with that. So I do like sympathize with him, but he's such an unlikable character that it's hard for me to sympathize with him. You know what I mean? Like, I get where he's coming from, but like, he's just an asshole. He's an asshole. So every single time he talks, I'm just like rolling my eyes because I'm like, dude, what is going, like, chill out. But like, what he's mad about is something that makes sense to be mad about. You know what I mean? We're at the part where Teddy just died, and so everybody's kind of going down a spiral at the moment. Billy's kind of monologue about Daisy and Camilla, about how Daisy is fire and Camilla is water, and how he will always choose water. Oh, that was such a good scene, because it really does encapsulate Billy and Daisy's relationship, how they are like just too similar. They're just so similar that it is extremely dangerous for them both to be together. And I know that there are huge like Billy and Daisy shippers, like obviously that is going to be a part of this book, but I just can't help but think that people that really do want Billy and Daisy to be together, or like them together, are missing the point of the book, or not the point of the book, but like they're missing a major part. Their entire relationship is like a tragedy, and if they did end up being together, it would not end well, and it would not be what it is with them not being together. I don't know if I made any sense with that, but I really loved that scene of Billy. He is incredibly self-aware, and I do really like that about him. I was also thinking that if Riley and Sam, the people playing Billy and Daisy, do not have really good chemistry, I don't know if the show's gonna work. Obviously, this book is a lot more than Daisy and Billy, but a lot of their relationship is cruxed on these performances, right? Because we don't get to see them as readers. We're just told about them and told about how much they feel when they sing to each other. So if we don't see really good chemistry on screen, and we actually get to see these performances and they don't have that on-screen chemistry, I don't know if the show's gonna work. So I'm a little hesitant and like afraid of that. So that's like my current concern going into the show. Because I watched the trailer and the trailer looks good, but you know, you can't really judge something too much based on that. I'm really nervous about that because the whole reason I'm so excited about the show is that we're gonna hear the music, we're gonna see these performances. So if they are not able to deliver that like star burning chemistry that Daisy and Billy clearly do have, because we're told that they have, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. You know what? I thought of another thing. This vlog is gonna be such a mess. I am so sorry. I wish we got more Billy and Graham. I know that a lot of it hinges on Billy being so self-absorbed. It sounds bad, but I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. Being so self-absorbed with his own struggles and his own feelings, you know, wrestling with Camilla and Daisy and just his addiction and staying sober, keeping the band, all of this stuff, which is a lot for somebody to deal with, for sure. But the fact that he just basically just ignores his brother this entire book, really. We really only get Billy and Graham at the very beginning when it's just the Dunn brothers band. Once they become the six, they just drop off from each other, which I feel like is so sad. And especially seeing the whole thing with Graham and Karen choosing to not go through with the pregnancy, it just highlights how alone Graham must have felt, especially when it comes to his relationship with his brother, which I think is so sad. And I can't remember if they reconcile a little more throughout the book, but I really hope they do, because I'm rooting for them. I want that brotherly relationship. All right, y'all. I have finished Daisy Jones and the Six. I did not realize how short this book was. So I apologize in advance for the lack of, you know, consistent updates throughout it. I started it and then all of a sudden it was done. So that's actually one of my complaints about this book. Most of the time, I'm always telling y'all that the book needed to be shorter. In this case, I really needed it to be a little bit longer. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy. I think the pacing is great. I think everything is very concise. Nothing is very dragged out. But honestly, I feel like we're going through such a crazy time in all of these characters' lives that I think we could have dragged it out a little bit more. Especially when I still stand by the fact that I wanted to know more about most of the characters. Like, we didn't really see Eddie, Warren, or Pete. Definitely not Warren or Pete at all in this book, really. And Eddie was just there to be annoying and like irritating. So I feel like if the book was a little bit longer, we would have been able to see those characters. And I just don't love that it really just feels like a Daisy, Billy, Camilla love triangle. I feel like there could have been a lot more to the story than that. At least we had Graham and Karen and their storyline, but even that, it was obviously pushed to the side. I think that was a missed opportunity. Pigging off of the Daisy, Billy, Camilla love triangle, I really wish we got more of Daisy and Camilla together. I don't know if it would have made their last conversation less impactful. Perhaps that could have happened. I just really wish we saw more of them together. Considering the relationship, it makes sense why they didn't interact much, you know? So I'm not super mad about that, but I think in a different worlds they could have been friends. But I guess that's the whole thing about the book, is in a different world a lot of these relationships could have been different and gone a different way, and that's the tragedy of it all. Also, rereading it makes me realize how little I remember of the books. This is why I have to reread books so often. I did not remember Camilla passed before the book was done. I did not remember that the interviewer was Billy and Camilla's daughter. There was just so many things that I forgot. Teddy, I forgot that Teddy died. All of these different like little details I totally forgot. So it was like reading it all over again, which was fun. So I loved that. I think I'm gonna bump my rating up to a 4-star. Like I said, I do think that I got caught up in the hype train of the book when I first read it. So I think it just got overhyped for me and I criticized it a little more than the second time around. This is a solid book. Like, this is a really, really well done book and I really enjoyed it. I just wish it was longer and I just wish we got more. That's pretty much it. That's my main critique. I just wanted more. Moving on from the book, let's discuss the show a little bit. So there is this thing going around Twitter about the writer or producer, somebody working on the show, said that the show is going to be the truth and the book is just this like warped, unreliable narrator thing going on. So that obviously means the show is going to be different than the book, which I am interpreting it as Daisy and Billy are going to end up sleeping together, which I am not mad about. At first, when I first heard it, I was like, I don't know. But the book really does paint Billy as this saint figure, and I just don't think that that is very realistic. I also, in general, don't think it's very realistic, the idea that Billy and Daisy didn't get physical at least once. That idea seems a little far-fetched to me. I am really, really hoping that Billy does stay sober, though. I think that is more important than an affair, and I think Camilla's character would prioritize Billy's sobriety over him like having an affair with Daisy. You know, I think she is more so worried about that than them getting together. I really do hope that the show doesn't show him relapsing, but if it does, you know, that could be another discussion and hopefully at least it's done properly. But that's kind of where I'm at right now with that. I think it makes total sense that the show is going to show more of the goings on because, you know, these people are telling this story to their daughter or the daughter of the person that you were in love with the mother being dead at that time. So it makes sense that they are not telling the whole truth. And another exciting thing pertaining to the show is I am hosting a little watch party for it. So my friends are gonna come over tomorrow. We're all gonna do like 70s themed flower child realness. So that's gonna be a really good time. We're gonna watch the first 3 episodes. I think the first 3 episodes are dropping tomorrow, and then after that it's gonna be weekly. We are going to watch the show together, and then probably afterwards we're gonna do like Fleetwood Mac karaoke or something. So that's gonna be really fun. Like I said, I'm just really excited for this show, and I really, really hope that Riley and Sam have good chemistry. I'm just praying that they have good chemistry, because if they don't, I'm gonna be really nervous about believing this whole situation. Hello y'all, welcome to my kitchen. So it's the day of the party. People are literally going to be here in like 15 minutes. And I need to make the drink of the evening. And I looked up like popular 70s cocktails, and the pina colada was #1 or on the #1 spot. So that's what we're making. I have this. I just blended some pineapple with this pineapple coconut juice from Whole Foods. And I'm going to put some coconut cream in here. We're gonna take a quick pause. So that was really fun. Clearly I've never used coconut cream before. I did not expect it to go flying like that. Back to the scheduled program. Despite me being a bartender for a living, I simply don't believe in measuring. So we're just gonna, I feel it's already super sweet. So like, I don't wanna add too much. Let's just add this and see how much of that I need to add to make it. I also don't have a lot of room in here, so I might as well just fill it up. That doesn't even seem like enough. I'm so excited. I don't know if I've ever had a pina colada. Okay, let's try it. See if I need to add any more rum. Oh, the answer is no. All right, y'all, it's the next night. Daisy Jones has been consumed in its entirety. I have the last of the pina colada here, so let's talk about the show. This is just gonna be word vomit. I probably should have taken notes, but I didn't. I'm not that prepared for this, but let's just go through it. One of the main things is Sam Claflin. Is that how you say his name? He is full on a 40-year-old man amongst these supposed teenagers / young adults. Don't get me wrong, he is a very attractive man, but every single time he was in a scene with the rest of the band members, he looks geriatric, dare I say. It's hilarious. I was curious to see like if everybody was singing and like performing their instruments and everything, and apparently according to Vanity Fair, everybody is singing and playing their own instruments, which I think is really, really cool. I knew that Riley, who plays Daisy, was a singer because she's like the granddaughter of Elvis, if you guys didn't know, which I think I found out very recently that that was the case. So I think that's pretty cool. I knew that she was an artist, and I knew that Suki Waterhouse, who plays Karen, was an artist, but I didn't know, you know, Sam did it like that. So that's pretty cool. Do I think that that was a great choice? I don't know. I'm not crazy about the music. It definitely sounds very modern, but I mean, it's a show, so I'm not expecting the music to be actually Grammy worthy, you know? Like, we're here for the drama. Are we really here for the music? I don't know. I think the music, just it being there, is cool in that we didn't get to hear it reading the book. I am not entirely loving how they are going about showing the addiction part. I definitely want it to be very tastefully done and very like respectful, especially of people that do, like real life people that go through this, but I feel like they're not nailing it on the head as much as they should, especially considering that I watched these first 3 episodes with people who have not read the book. I don't think that they realized how strung out Billy is supposed to be, and how strung out like Daisy is supposed to be, especially on the last episode where she shows up without any pants. That is a scene where she was so fucked up, like she woke up late and then like couldn't change, you know? But it like came across as like just this like quirky character choice, and I feel like they have like completely like just like kind of swept or like fast forward on Billy's addiction. I think the only scene that I felt was like we truly understood the gravity of it was when Camilla confronted him after seeing that he cheated on her, which, by the way, that's the best scene of the show so far. Like, that was shivers like down my spine. Like, that was such a powerful scene. I just don't know if they really drove home how in the trenches he was, but I also don't know how you would approach such a sensitive topic on TV. So I'm not mad about it by any means, but it's definitely something that I don't know if people who are not familiar with the book understand, like the gravity of how deep in it these 2 characters specifically were / are. I absolutely love Karen so much. I don't remember her having an accent. Like, that was a bit of a shock. I was like, where is this bitch from? That was fun to see the scene with her and Graham where she's just like, we should just sleep together, right? And then Graham is just like, Warren, oh my God, love him so much. It might just be because I am most attracted to him in the show, but like I love his character already. Every single little remark that he makes, 10 out of 10. Eddie is fine. Eddie is Eddie, you know. I do really like the little tidbits that we're getting that he is in love with Camilla, and that might be a reason why he resents, or another reason why he resents Billy so much. I think that is a very interesting layer of his character that they're adding in the show, because I don't remember that ever being hinted at in the books. So it gives him more depth into why he hates Billy so much, aside from just like petty like jealousy kind of thing. Speaking of Camilla, again, I know I mentioned her already, but like I love her. I love her character so much. She's my favorite character in the book, and she is absolutely my favorite character in the show. I think the actress is doing such an amazing job portraying her. Simone is absolutely amazing. Another favorite character in the book, which I wish we got more of her. So I hope that they give her a bit more screen time than I feel like she gets in the book, because a lot of times I do think that she is just pigeonholed into being like Daisy's babysitter, which is not great. And speaking of Miss Daisy, her childhood scenes broke me. That scene where her mom comes in and she like shuts down like her music and is like, well, do you ever shut up? Or nobody wants to hear you sing. And then like she's like, you're very pretty, when she reads Daisy's lyrics. So sad. I hated the line delivery in the I'm not a muse, I'm a somebody. That was weak as hell, especially considering that is arguably the best quote in the book, or like the most popular quote. The sirens. Yep, the police are coming for you, Riley, because that was criminal, that delivery. Other than that, I do think that she is showing like the really cool girl, ambitious attitude that Daisy has. Again, I just feel like they are downplaying her addiction a little bit. As far as my concern about Sam and Riley's chemistry, obviously we only see them in the last episode when they're singing Honeycomb together. So I don't think that there is enough for me to say if they do or don't have chemistry. I think Billy's attitude and Sam's delivery of Billy's disdain for Daisy right off the bat was really well done. That definitely embodied the scene in the book for me really well. But as far as their chemistry and like romantic chemistry and like tension or everything, I don't know if I can fully judge on it yet, because we haven't gotten enough of it on screen yet. Still hoping that when we get to that point, I'm gonna be convinced of their little tragic love story thing that they have going on. Overall thoughts though, great first episodes. Like I was hooked. I was enjoying it. I'm very excited to see what happens to it. I think they are doing a really good job with the show so far. So I'm hoping that it continues and that I enjoy the rest of the episodes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. Let me know if you guys have seen the show, what you guys think of it. I would love to hear your guys' opinions, and I hope you guys enjoyed this cute little vlog of me rereading and watching the show. I will see you guys next time.